Before we role play regarding Donald Trump, I would like to deal with a statement that's floating around out there. It's kind of cute, like a 9-year-old being cute. Oh, that's cute, honey. Or a 4-year-old. Oh, that's so cute. Somebody said that Donald Trump was the Winston Churchill of our times. Now, for those of us who are Winston Churchill fans, lovers, students, I've been to his home twice. Was the first person through the gate in the morning, last person to leave, sat in the chair where he used to feed his geese, or rather his ducks, swans. Oh, and his fish too. He would feed his fish. So I snuck over and sat in and got a picture there. There he is, by the way. His bust, his likeness sitting, his graven image sitting on my shelf. Donald Trump is not the Winston Churchill of our times, okay? I'm very, very certain of that. And I'm also happy that Donald Trump is mixing it up with the Republican establishment. I've said that many times. And I can tell you in one sentence why Donald Trump is not the Winston Churchill of our times. And that is because Winston Churchill was captured, as was John McCain. See, most of you didn't even know that. Winston Churchill was a POW, he was a prisoner of war during the Boer Wars. He escaped. He escaped, made a harrowing escape. If they'd have found him, they'd have killed him on the spot. The orders were to shoot him. They knew who he was. They knew that he was the son of Sir Randall Churchill. His family was very famous in England at the time. He was a journalist, but he was a shooting journalist. He wrote stories but also fired. And anyway, he was captured. He escaped, and that helped propel him into Parliament. His exciting and really death-defying escape. Churchill stood plain and clear, unequivocating against the Nazis. One of my sons is named after Winston Churchill. I'm just going to leave it at that. Donald Trump is not the Winston Churchill of our times. If we have to, we'll come back to it. If I was a journalist, I have a TV show. If I was sitting down with Donald Trump, which I probably won't be able to do, but if I was, here is what I would ask him, all right? And the clutch of questions at the beginning are there for priority, and the ones after are not there in a priority ordering. So the first question is this. Mr. Trump, if you are elected President of the United States and the Republicans pass a law to ban the killing of babies by abortion in all 50 states, if it passes both houses and makes it to your desk, would you sign it? Yes or no? Mr. Trump, will you pledge to the American people that you will only appoint judges to the federal judiciary who promise you to your face that they will vote to overturn Roe versus Wade? Yes or no? Mr. Trump, will you pledge to the American people to use your bully pulpit as president to call for the impeachment of the 5 judges who voted for Obergefell, so-called homosexual marriage? Yes or no? Will you pledge to appoint judges to the federal judiciary who will support traditional, sacramental, covenantal, God-ordained marriage? Yes or no? All right, those are the high priority questions. Then other questions would be, Mr. Trump, will you get rid of the Federal Department of Education? Yes or no? Mr. Trump, do you believe, without equivocation, in the Second Amendment, the right of the people to keep and bear arms without infringement? Yes or no? Mr. Trump, do you believe that we should abolish all property tax, land tax? Yes or no? And he might equivocate and say, well, I would do it on businesses. I would keep it on businesses, but on individual families, I'd like to see his answer. Mr. Trump, do you believe that we should phase out Social Security? You're a businessman. You know that this is a Ponzi scheme. You know it's a Ponzi scheme. There is no trust fund where money is set aside. It's all IOUs. Would you allow people to get themselves out of Social Security if they agree to never take any money when they're elderly Would you agree to let them out now and not pay any money in? Yes or no? I'll be right back with more questions for Mr. Trump.